Maybe you gooned 5 times last night. Maybe you gooned 5 times today. Maybe you haven't gooned in a few days and you're just trying to keep it up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This video will completely explain to you how you should desexualize your brain as concretely as it can be done in whatever length this video will be in, because this will not be hours long. But it will be something short that you can watch and you can get value from. So let's get into it. First, you gotta understand what being overly sexual is. What being overly sexual is perverted desire. Okay? So, I want you to think about the whole concept of finding a woman attractive. Is finding a woman attractive inherently wrong? No. But opening up their OnlyFans, jerking your meat, and coming all over yourself is wrong. Alright? You've crossed the barrier. You've crossed the line. It has become perverted. In the fullest sense of the word perverted. Okay? So, the reason why I bring this up is because what it means is the actual core is not necessarily wrong. Sex in and of itself is not wrong. Okay? The sex is supposed to be for marriage, it's supposed to be a sacred thing, a very special thing, but it's been perverted in this casual way. Where we live now, where, gooning and premarital sex are normal, right? So, the point is that core is fine. The core is fine, but it's been perverted. So, you're trying to do two things. You're trying to, one, purify back to this proper core where you view it the right way, and then two, you're trying to channel your libido. Now let's talk about the first part real quickly. So, to purify your views on sex, it of course helps to not have gooned in a few days, because it's kind of out of your mental plane. We'll go more on that later. But what you want to do first and foremost is kind of understand, what is sex actually for? What is sex actually about? And you may intuitively be able to answer that. You may be able to say, well, it's supposed to be between a man and a woman that really love each other, that are married. And then you look at yourself and you go like, well, it's not really what I'm using it for. I'm just jerking off to whatever porn star is popular now. So you may think, oh, well, it's all lost. I mean, I already know what I should be, but I'm not that, so how do I bridge this gap? Very simple. So here's what I would do if I were you. This won't work as good as being in a holistic system that focuses on this, but you can do it in isolation and it will help. You should get a notebook out. I don't have my notebook. Actually, wait, I can get one. Yeah, I know. Okay, get a notebook. And then, whenever you start feeling an urge, whenever you start feeling this desire, okay, write whatever it is, draw whatever it is, and then imagine that thing turning into the purified thing. Like, how can I make this pure? How can I purify this through the teachings of God? Right? And you might think, okay, well, I really feel like gooning right now. I really feel like going on Pornhub and searching up whatever. Okay, well, what is the purified version of this? Don't get rid of it. Don't go like, no, I'm not going to do it, because that never worked. You have to transform it. Okay? God didn't redeem humanity by getting rid of humanity. He redeemed humanity by bringing Jesus to purify humanity. So you're trying to purify this desire. It's like, okay, so this idea of gooning, okay, well, really, it's just, my longing for love. You just imagine a situation of true, passionate, clean love. Don't worry, everything I say will be free, but I will suggest very heavily that you join my Discord, because you can get one-on-one access with me. You can ask me a question on there. I will answer it in there as of now, at least. It's not too crazy yet. And you also gain access to uncensored information in Discord channel, which I cannot share on YouTube. There's also more general, broad information and niche information on different subjects that are not touched on in this video, most likely. Being said, find that in the description. Let's get back to the video. So that's the purification of it. That could be talked about for hours in terms of like more advanced stuff. But for you guys, that's more than enough just to get started. And then from there, you want to widen your channel of libido, because you want to understand there is no such thing as isolated sex energy. All right, you just don't have energy for sex in and of itself. What you have is energy that gets channeled into sex. Okay? And because you've gooned so much, it's been put into your mental plane so heavily that when you have energy, it just immediately goes to sex. Energy, sex, energy, sex, energy, sex, energy, sex, energy, sex. All right? You created this habit. You created this loop. And it also relates to the mental plane. Okay? You may think it's just dopamine, but it's not just dopamine. All right? It's about the fact that you have thoughts, and then you have feelings. Okay? Your feelings of when you see a hot chick. Okay, that's a feeling. And then this thing on top, if you think of water, it's like thinking, right? It's like, okay, have this feeling, independent of the thing, but now I'm thinking about, let's say, porn. Okay. It's like fire and water. It boils it. And that is your motivation. That is what you'll be motivated to do. And you will need willpower to prevent yourself from doing it. So instead of trying to do this willpower thing, like, just don't do it, just don't do it. Instead, you have to change what's in your mental plane. But let's first get into something a little bit before then. So, you widen your libido channel by taking this feeling, right? And you maintain the feeling. Okay, don't suppress it, but you maintain the feeling, embrace it, and then look at what is good. Okay? You can either write down what's good. First and foremost, it should be God. It could be a cross. It could be an image. Think about other things you want to do in your life, like wealth, purpose, etc. And you're taking this feeling and you're saturating your mental plane, you know, what's going through your mind, with these ideas of God, what's good for you, what's good for your family, etc. And what's happening now is this pot of water that was once being boiled with a bunch of sexual thoughts is now being boiled with thoughts of what's good. And that will start motivating you towards doing what's good. But you may say, oh, that sounds so simple. Does it really work? Yes, it really works. But it will take time. It's like building a skill. Okay? Could Tom Brady throw a touchdown pass the first day he touched the football? No. But he could after 1,000th time. And that's how this will work. Okay? Maybe not even 1,000 times. Depends on your mental ability, how much of a brain rot you are, etc. But if you can just do this a few times, you'll start becoming more and more natural, and then over time, it will become a habit. Okay, you'll naturally just do it. You just go like, boom, you did it. Before then, you know, it's a whole process, but after a while, it becomes instinctual, and that's when you start really desexualizing your brain. And that's when you achieve what you came to this video for. So you're welcome.